Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the countdown is ticking for Kentucky's Congress to pass legislation. And one eastern Kentucky community has seen a growth in tourism after adding a 50,000-acre park last year.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are just past 6:30 on Wednesday, February 14th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. A little slow out of the gates this morning, but hey, things are going to look bright and beautiful this afternoon. So no excuses. Lunch plans, dinner plans. No cancellations today because we can't cancel weather and we can't cancel the fog right now. We have to wait for it to burn off. 34 outside our studios here at WYMT, and you can see this sticks out like a sore thumb, leaving Hazard down toward Harlan. And again, the visibility decreases, but at least is now back up to 2.5 miles as you make your way into Harlan County. 40 at Ashland, 36 at Moorhead as clouds continue to stream in from the north and west. So cloud cover issues, northern counties, fog issues, southern counties. Guess what? This disturbance weakening, lifting out, the fog burns off, and that means high pressure will continue to build in, and we'll end up having a beautiful amount of sunshine later today. All right, hold on 1 second. The computer ended up locking up for 2 seconds, and it's not moving forward. So play along with me here. Becoming mostly sunny as we head through the afternoon. A forecast high up close to 55. More about the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. Kentucky lawmakers have less than 30 days to pass legislation. Today is day 31 of the 60-day session. A budget and bills dealing with crime, education, and elections remain unresolved. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more.
Tuesday was a busy day at the state capitol, not necessarily evident of the activity during the first half of the legislative session.
I will say that generally speaking, this session's gone a bit more slowly than what I've seen in the past, but this week particularly things are beginning to pick up.
It's been a pretty methodical, contemplative pace so far, but I look for the pace to start to pick up.
The budget is now in the Senate. There's been a lot of debate on education. The governor and Democrats want mandated teacher raises, but Republicans say superintendents are asking for more funding to let them decide the amounts.
That's what we did 2 years ago. 95% of districts gave raises. I do predict we will end up putting more money, probably record funding for education, into the budget.
Not paying teachers properly, refusing to give teachers raises when we can do so in our budget, I think is a slap in the face of teachers.
Kentuckians could also vote on a number of constitutional amendments this coming November if these amendments pass both the House and the Senate. One would basically state that only U.S. citizens are allowed to vote in elections in Kentucky, and another bill would actually move when people vote for their statewide officers. Governor Beshear has signed one bill into law, that's House Bill 161, to prevent precinct names and number changes from disqualifying candidates. The House has passed nearly 50 bills. The Senate has passed several dozen.
I think the biggest priority has to be in education. From what I've seen so far, we're really crawling in terms of making investments in education.
House Bill 5, the Safer Kentucky Act, is going to be a priority for me to try to get that across the finish line, as well as whatever version we decide to do on the constitutional amendment on school choice.
Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
And speaking of House Bill 5, the biggest crime bill of the session could increase penalties for people who kill first responders. House Bill 5 covers a wide range of topics. One provision would better enable prosecutors to seek the death penalty for some offenders. The measure could have applied after the death of Floyd County Deputy William Petrie. He and 2 other officers and a K-9 died in a police ambush in 2022. His son Chase says he has complicated feelings on the legislation.
It should be an option. but I really don't know what would be the right choice. I have no clue, because I mean, there's nothing they could have done to bring my dad back. You know, there's nothing really that would have satisfied the whole situation.
The man police say killed Petrie killed himself in jail. The Safer Kentucky Act is the same bill advocates say would criminalize homelessness. It includes new policies on unlawful camping. It needs 3 readings in the Senate to pass. A proposed constitutional amendment is moving forward that would freeze property tax for older homeowners. The measure cleared the Senate with only 2 no votes. It now heads to the House. If it's approved in both chambers, it would be up to the voters to decide in this year's general election. The freeze would apply to Kentuckians 65 and older who own their own home and live there. We now know the names of 2 people killed in a Whitley County crash. The Whitley County coroner identified one victim as 10-year-old Drake Sutherland. He died at St. Joseph Hospital. KSP identified the other victim as 67-year-old Diana Alsip of Corbin. She died at the University of Tennessee Hospital. 2 others were hurt. The sheriff's office says it appeared the road was icy and a car likely crossed the center line, striking another vehicle on Bee Creek Road. Police arrested North Magoffin Elementary School principal James Keith Isaac after they say he reportedly strangled his wife on Monday. According to an arrest citation obtained by WYMT, Isaac reportedly began arguing with his wife about feeding their dogs. The citation states she told officers that Isaac grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her. Isaac is charged with assault and strangulation. A former Kentucky State Police trooper admitted he illegally entered someone's home without a warrant. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Jeremy Elliott pleaded guilty to a charge of depriving people in the home of the right to be free from an unreasonable search. The case stems from a 2020 incident in Whitley County. 2 other troopers are also charged in the case. The hunt for a suspect accused of killing an East Tennessee deputy is over. Kenneth DeHart was taken into custody yesterday in Knoxville. He's accused of fatally shooting Deputy Greg McCowan during a traffic stop last week. Another deputy was injured in the incident and is recovering at home. DeHart faces several charges, including first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. The Leatherwood Off-Road Park opened less than a year ago, but it is already seeing a large amount of growth. Officials say the 50,000 acres and 200+ miles of trails has brought in thousands of people from at least 12 different states. Something Perry County Judge Executive Scott Alexander says is exciting to see in the Leatherwood community. Now they need more places for people to stay.
I even heard of a family coming in for the New Year's and spending 3 days here while riding the off-road park. And so that's the things that it does, not only at the off-road park, but also for that community. It allows them a chance to get involved and be part of it as well.
Alexander says the county also recently purchased the Leatherwood School. Plans are to eventually turn it into rooms for folks to rent while traveling through the area. February is National Children's Dental Health Month. The month-long observance reinforces the importance of dental hygiene for children, including some of the common issues they may face, such as cavities, if their teeth are not cared for properly. Dr. Joshua Phillips with MedCenter's Dental Clinic says the best way to prevent cavities is to practice routine oral hygiene with your child,
which is brushing twice a day. If the child's an age where they can spit, they should be using a fluoride toothpaste. 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. What a lot of people don't realize is even though they're baby teeth and they're going to get new permanent teeth later, they do affect their overall health because you can get infections, and those infections can actually spread into the bloodstream and other parts of the body.
Experts say if left untreated, cavities can cause pain, infections, and lead to issues with eating, speaking, and learning.
And a good Wednesday morning to you. Happy Valentine's Day. Let's get you out the door with some low visibility fog issues across our southern counties, and the official observation coming from Harlan is the fact that the visibility is at 2.5 miles. We have some visibility issues outside our studios as well here in Hazard, where we're sitting as of last check at 34 degrees. Warmer temps though to the north, and that's because we're dealing with some cloud cover issues from Lexington over to Jackson and then into Pikeville. This disturbance will continue to throw some more clouds toward us, but it's weakening. So cloud cover issues, northern counties, fog issues, southern counties, doesn't matter how you slice it. The clouds leave, the fog burns off, and then we end up being left, oh shucks, right? A mostly sunny sky the rest of the day, and a forecast high this afternoon in Hazard, up close to 55. There's more news and weather with your WYMT Mountain Morning News coming up after the break.